the place to be. For we are creative people. Stay tuned for the best and the rest of your life.
Very strong message to family.
We have the potential to build upon what Tyler Perry has brought to this community.
Tyler Perry, I'm a big fan of you.
For sisters and brothers, biological.
We want to shout out Tyler Perry, man, because Tyler Perry has brought Hollywood to Atlanta.
You guys are taking over the neighborhoods. Entrepreneurs have to take the neighborhoods back. And we're going to do that.
For sisters and brothers, not biological.
To see life, to see how fine you have done the property, Tyler Perry, it's really got to my heart and I really appreciate it.
And welcome to the neighborhood.
Not Continental Colony Parkway anymore. We want it to be Tyler Perry Parkway.
Now, for human beings, for respect for one another.
Puts another limelight on Greenbrier. So we try to connect Tyler Perry Wood to Atlanta.
Seems like he's a very smart man.
He's a very talented young man. Yes, he is.
Okay, all right.
God, for mothers to be accountable for their children.
I don't know if I like him more as much dear or just playing his own self.
Positive. This opportunity to come out here and see Tyler Perry, and he came a long ways. And
Fathers, for black men to stand up.
I really love him because he's so down to earth and everything. Every movie he's made I've seen and I have enjoyed every one of them. I just love him.
They ain't gonna get the street name after me.
For women to be supportive of their husbands.
His movie. Yes, I seen. What do you think about Tyler Perry?
I love Tyler Perry movie. All of his movie. I have all his movies at home except for the
potential that we now have because of Tyler Perry is enormous.
Family to pray. Number one. My son. Tyler Perry is my son.
Thank you.
Little people, little children.
There has to be someone with a vision who can begin to bridge the gap between our young and our old. So many people are caught up on the past. We have to be about now.
You gotta give it to them now.
Come on,
Right now. Not tomorrow and the day after. Right now.
Now is the time, and I think you're absolutely right.
You know what the question is that a lot of people ask me all the time? How did you make it? How did you make it? Well, I'll tell you, there's only one answer for that. And I say this in the press all the time, but people will cut it out of articles, or they don't want it printed, or they don't want it said. But the truth be told, it was nothing but the grace of God. Nothing but the grace of God. You can plant seeds all day long. You can go around giving your business card to people. You can go around knocking on doors and auditioning. You can do all of that every day of your life. And nothing, for most people, nothing happens. When a seed is planted in the ground, all you can do is water it. You cannot control the sunshine, you cannot control the weather, and you cannot control whether the locusts will come and try and destroy it. All you can do is plant your seed in the ground, water it, and believe. That is what allowed me to be in this position right now. I would not stop believing. I planted my seed. I worked really hard. I had one idea, and that was to do a play. All the other stuff came. My only idea, my only focus was to do my one play. And I knew if I could get that to work, everything else would come to pass. There's so many people who go in so many directions. This week they're doing this, and next week they're doing that, and next week they're doing this, and next week they're going to be in real estate, and the next week they're going to open a salon. And those kind of people are all over the place, and I usually try to get them to focus. Focus on one thing, one area. Put all of your energy into watering one area. If you spread the water across many seeds, you don't have as much water for one seed. So focus on one thing. Make it your priority and stick with it no matter what. No matter how many people told me no, no matter how many people lied to me, no matter how many times I put the show up and nobody came. I remember when I did my very first show, I worked my butt off and saved $12,000 tax returns from H&R Block money. I saved it, worked hard, saved it myself, rented the 14th Street Playhouse, put that show up, thought that 1,200 people would come over a weekend and 30 showed up, and I knew every one of them. But I didn't stop. That didn't deter me. That was in 1992. 93, same thing happened. 94, 95, 96, 97, up until 1998. Same devastation, nobody showing up in the audience. I was doing one show a year, working with different promoters, trying to get the show up, and nobody showed up. But I didn't stop. And what I say to you now, looking at me now, here, I am a human being. There's no difference between my humanness and your humanness. The only thing is, if you're trying to get there, you cannot stop believing in any way. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody tells you, you have to know it beyond knowing it. And it is a feeling. When something is for you, this is how I knew it was for me. When something is for you, there's a feeling that is deep down inside of you that will not allow you to let it go. It will keep you going when you can't even keep yourself going. That's why the mantra here at the Tyler Perry Studios is a place where even dreams believe. Because there comes a time in your life where you've worked and you've stressed and you tried to get there and you couldn't on your own, but you have a dream. And that dream has to take on the belief for you because you can't do it by yourself. So what I would tell you is this: don't stop. Narrow your focus to one idea, and make it work. That will give birth to all the others. All you can do is plant the seed and water it. God himself has to give the increase. Only God can make the sunshine. Only God can bring the rain. But if you've planted the seed, then you've done your part. I wish you so much success in 2012. Anything you want is possible. God knows I'm a living witness. Please feel me. Please hear this from my heart. Anything you want is possible. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't take the time to send this message to you. Take care of yourself.
You gotta give it to him now. Come on, right now. Not tomorrow and the day after, right now.
Now is the time, and I think you're absolutely right.
Tyler Perry made history in 2008 when he opened the doors to the first ever African-American owned major television and movie studio. Perry built 5 new studios in Atlanta, Georgia, and upgraded the buildings that Delta Airlines once called its headquarters. Let's take a look at some of the construction work in process, which includes the first pillow being hoisted into the air.
I saw his shows on TV though.
Oh, okay. All right. So how'd you like the show?
I like to talk to him. Seems like he's a very smart man. He's done well for himself, it seems.
All right. Thank you.
Tyler Perry's father was a subcontractor, but no one in the Perry family had ever dreamed of a 200,000 square foot project built on 30 acres of land. Wow. We're building a place where even dreams can believe, says producer, writer, director, and actor Tyler Perry. Stay tuned as Hollywood comes to the SWATs, Southwest Atlanta. Perry, who was 39 at the time, celebrated his accomplishments with a lavish celebration that featured a guest list of who's who among African-American celebrities, including Oprah Winfrey, Will Smith, Ruby Dee, Sidney Poitier, Star Jones, Lynn Whitfield, and John Legend. Guests sipped on champagne and were treated to performances by Mary J. Blige, Gladys Knight, and Patti LaBelle. Fireworks capped off the evening of festivities. Enjoy.
This is a dynamic day in the life of all senior citizens and individuals who live out here in this area, Asbury Harris. We're pleased and we're very well impressed with Tyler Perry for what he's doing, and I know that greater things are gonna happen. I feel like we're committed to growth in our community by the mere fact that Tyler Perry will be in this area.
So today is the opening day.
Opening ceremony.
A lot of things going on out here.
They told me that it is a day for celebrity. Oprah Winfrey, Will Smith and his wife Jada Pinkett, and a variety of persons who respect and recognize who he is. And we're pleased, we're happy for him.
Okay. So our day is coming.
Our day is coming. And when our day comes, then I'm sure that we'll be pleased and elated.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing.
All right.
All right then. Tyler Perry Studios are surrounded by senior citizens complexes. The one in the background is an 11-story tower right next door. Today is a very special day here. Stay tuned and find out why.
The first time I met Tyler Perry, he had just hit the mainstream. A playwright turned filmmaker, his first 2 films were instant box office hits. He stunned critics and won over a new audience with his over-the-top humor.
You better be glad you're at church. Jesus just saved your life. Hallelujah.
And overt Christian themes.
I thought that God had given up on me.
The novelty created a buzz in Hollywood, and 2 years later, that buzz has turned into a multi-million-dollar business. Recently, I got together with Tyler just to see how his life has changed. We discussed everything from his new movie, his critics, and his battles with the past.
You are living a life that most people couldn't even dream about.
You know what? Every day I wake up and I have to remind myself to enjoy the moment, because so many times, so much of my childhood was in so much chaos and confusion. I was just realizing that it's been 10 years. I was thinking about this morning. It's been 10 years that I've been happy. First 28 years of my life, I was completely miserable, suicidal, depressed, and saved, which is possible. People don't believe that, but it's possible. But from 28 to now, at 38, just turned 38, I realize it's been 10 years of just joy.
Tyler talks candidly about being physically and verbally abused by his father as a child. He admits that success didn't happen until he let go of the pain and resentment and forgave. But even with all of his success, he still battles some of those old demons.
I grew up with my father, who from the time I was a kid to now, till 10 years ago, I was every 4-letter word in the book. So I have many, many battles from childhood scars that I have to deal with regularly. But that are also used to keep me humble. You know, it's when I think about the things that I went through, and even with my father, it's like, how can anybody love you if your father didn't love you? So you have all of those things, and God has to constantly remind me, I am God. You're okay.
Congratulations on your latest movie. I'm standing here waiting on the bus to go see your movie.
I wouldn't have been able to afford to go see that. And my daughter, when she was living here, would take me to see his plays. And I think he's a very talented guy. I can look out my apartment window and see his studio being built and hear them hammering it every day. I hope when it's finished that he would allow the seniors to come over and tour it. And that would be another pleasure. But I thank him for it and keep on doing what he's doing, making the money.
All right.
Give me a little bit too. I can show you.
Yes, I have something to say. I thank God that I'm able to go.
And I think it's going to be nice. I'm enjoying myself. I love him. And I'm going today to see Tyler Perry picture today. I've seen them all.
All right.
Wouldn't miss it for nothing.
All right then. Thank you much.
Let us have a day when we can come over and see your studio, Tyler. I like that.
Okay. All right then.
I really love him because he's so down to earth and everything. Every picture he's made, I've seen, and I have enjoyed every one of them. I just love him.
The bus trip from the Towers to the Magic Johnson Theaters is about 2 miles.
Thank you. Thank you, darling. That's a lot better.
Upon our arrival, we find that busloads of other seniors have come from across Atlanta. Looks like one big happy seniors moment. Stay tuned as we talk with some of the seniors who have come to see Tyler Perry's movie, Family That Prays.
Hello.
All right, you're the bus driver.
Yes, I
So what's your
am.
name?
Joni.
Okay.
Yes, to the movie theater, and I'll be back to pick you up.
All right then,
All
thank
right.
you. What do you expect to see today?
I'm going to see the family that prays on each other. And that's a lesson for a lot of families. I've seen Tyler Perry say that his movies, especially for families, it's not about sex and all the crime and all that. It's something that people need to come and see instead of spending their money, just looking for the rough stuff.
We're at the Magic Johnson Theater, where all of these nice individuals have gathered.
Tyler Perry has said that he loves senior citizens. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm a senior citizen.
About it.
This lady is 89. How old? 86.
On Sunday, I dance for Jesus. Through the week, Monday through Saturday for arthritis.
All right.
Love Tyler Perry.
Okay. All right then.
Hi, Tyler. We like your movies.
All right.
For QLS, we like your movies.
Okay. Thank you much.
Well, I don't know if we're early or if they're just late, but the doors are not open yet.
So I want to go see him because he's brilliant. He's fantastic. And this movie, I don't know too much about it. I see it advertised on TV, but that's about it. So I want to go. I know it's going to be a good movie. It's going to be a real good movie.
All right, we'll check you when on the way out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Go to the door
Somebody you just love to burn. Mom loves the bill. You see it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood's thicker than the mud. It's a family affair.
Hello, how you doing?
Good.
All right then. Yes, indeed. So what do you expect to see today?
A movie. Yeah, the family that prays. Yeah, I know what it is. I just said a movie because I read the paper to see what they said about it.
Okay.
I said they don't know what they're talking about.
You know, choosing movie titles is like printing money. It takes the same amount of ink to print $1 bills as it takes to print $100 bills. So stay tuned as we prepare to crank up the press on Tyler Perry's blockbuster movie title, The Family That
Look at me, they see the 6'6" man, but inside there's a little boy that has some issues that we're still trying to get through.
Because there's power in words. Life and death is in the power of a tongue. So especially if you have a father, someone significant in your life, speaking these things to you. Speaking
death to you every day.
Absolutely. So how have you been able to redefine your significance?
Again, constant battle. Even still, to this day, there are certain things that I feel inadequate in certain situations, and I feel worthless around certain situations where I have to continue to reaffirm myself and say, wait a minute, you're okay, you're okay.
38 years old, you're not married. Do you think, okay, am I
going to take traits of my father into when I become a father?
That was a huge fear of mine. That's a huge fear of mine. I know that I have too much compassion and I'm too much of a loving person to be abusive and even, especially with children. I'm so very, very, very careful with what I say, how I say it. Yeah. So I know that I won't take any of those things, and I know that I've been healed from a lot of those things. But yeah, it was my fear. My fear is I know I'd be a much better father than I would be husband. That's the thing. That's what worries me most. It's like, would I be able to, because I'm again, 18-hour days, workaholic, loner by nature. I love having someone around, but not in my space. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
As one of America's most eligible bachelors, Tyler is becoming one of the wealthiest. His movies have grossed over $100 million, and he hobnobs with some of the biggest names in Hollywood.
I can imagine the platform that you have because you are a Christian man, but you're in Hollywood. And how are you able to try to hold up that standard and that level of accountability?
I have a very, very, very small circle of prayer warriors, maybe 5 or 6, but it's just enough to get me through. They hold me up, they hold me accountable.
Tyler recognizes that public scrutiny accompanies fame, but even so, he says it's still difficult.
Even with Medea, there have been pastors who have preached about my damnation and me going to hell because I'm wearing a dress and doing this character,
Peace is always still around me because that keeps me what they call a piece of steel. As long as you got a piece of steel, you're going to have peace. Load your steel. Thank you, Jesus.
It really frustrated to me, and I sat there and I looked at it and I go, I don't know one true believer who could look at what I do and not see that there is an anointing that is reaching people who would never go to a church. If you look at the totality of it, yeah, sure, the silliness of Medea is over the top and she's not saved and she's loud mouth and she's saying all this stuff, but go watch some of the movies and see the message.
WACPtv, the place to be. All we are creative people. Stay tuned for the best and the rest of your life.
I'm tired of her looking down her nose at us like we didn't live in the same neighborhood. I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. This is your sister. When are y'all gonna start acting like it?
In every family,
This is your daughter's wedding. Everything's gonna be fine. You just relax.
there is good.
This car rate paid for the wedding. Look at you. You look beautiful.
You sure you want to do this? I love that girl. And there is bad. What are your plans after graduation?
Looking for a job, I guess.
Give me a call. I'm sure we can find a position for you.
Okay.
There are the ties that bind.
Leah, meet Miss Abigail Dexter. She thinks she can take this company global.
I thought you were considering me for that position.
Why on earth would you think that?
Because I'm your son. I was thinking about starting my own construction company. What you need me for? A little bit more faith, brother. Alfre Wood, Lennar Lathan, Ruckman Dunbar, T.D. Strickland, Cole Hauser, Taraji P. Henson, Robin Gibbons, Tyler Perry, and Kathy Bates.
Let me tell you, my family has been known to pray on the weekend.
Tyler Perry's The Family Praise. WACPtv.
Okay.
I like the movie very much. The movie was real good.
What did you like the best?
Well, the whole thing. It was just an interesting, the way people get together and survive.
What did you think about it?
I think it was just lovely. I thought it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Yes.
What part did you like the best?
I like the whole movie.
Okay.
I like the traveling part where the two got the traveling. I liked that.
All right, then.
All right, thank you. Thelma and Louise, you're right.
Okay, now.
I loved it.
Okay, what part you like the best?
It's hard to say, but I guess the part where it's showing us that it's best to do right and not get greedy, and go after big time.
Okay.
Because if God's help, we'll get there eventually. We don't have to walk over people, especially our family members, to get what we want.
All right, then.
Oh, I agree. It was, I just enjoyed it. Didn't have all that sex. It didn't have all that profanity. It's a real life. It shows Lord is good all the time.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Oh, it was great just as soon as it come out of mine.
I loved it. It was so wonderful. Seems like every time you turn around, Tyler Perry's doing a great movie, and they all have a lot of emphasis on black people with things that we need to listen to and understand, and the things that we go through life, a lot of us. So I think it was very good, and the ending was just fantastic. They did another great job. Thank you, Tyler. Have a good day. And thank you, QLS, Ms. Richardson and staff and bus drivers and all the people from QLS. We enjoyed it very much. He is so precious. Yeah. And his upbringing, I suppose, was just around seniors and women and people with value.
All right.
It was wonderful.
When Tyler came in the picture, you know, because I'm in love with him, you know.
I thought it was excellent. I thought it was excellent. Some very strong people. There's some very strong actors, some very strong actresses.
You see all of these names? These are residents. These are the high-rise. We have 120 people from the Atlanta Housing Authority high-rise.
Okay.
And I'm one of the program coordinators.
Okay.
So between us and me and the program director, we have to provide transportation and make sure they're here. So did you go to there? See how crowded it was? So everything can run smoothly.
All right then. And it ran smoothly.
Oh yeah, we enjoyed it.
A very strong message to family. For sisters and brothers, for respect for one another. Oh God. For mothers to be accountable for their children. For fathers, for black men to stand up. For women to be supportive of their husbands. And men in their life, their brothers. It's an all-around thing where we have to help each other and support each other. Sure.
Yes.
Oh, it was great.
And little people, little children, we gotta give it to them now.
Come on,
right now. Not tomorrow and the day after.
All right. There you have it. The seniors have spoken loud and clear. We love you, Tyler, and we hold you dear. Now is the time, and this is the place. Stay tuned to this station. We're going to win this race.
What inspires these plays, these movies, the script?
I pray about it. I say, okay, where am I going next? The family dynamic is in so much trouble, and the divorce rates in this country are so ridiculous and so high. So many people are getting married for the wrong reasons. That's why, as people see why did I get married, they'll realize that there's some tough questions you need to ask yourself before you take those vows.
Let's talk about your movie. Why'd you get married, Tyler?
I'm not married.
I know, right?
After this movie, no. Why Did I Get Married is a story about 4 couples who go and reevaluate their relationship every year. And this particular year, all kinds of chaos happens. They are all sitting around the table, and all the secrets are revealed in every relationship, and they don't know if they're going to make it. But there is one character who is Christian in this, who is in love with this man, who has given her heart and soul to him.
I thought that God had given up on me.
She's a Christian who is depressed, sad, overweight, gaining more weight, frustrated, trying to make everything work. She's trying to heal everything outside, but won't look at herself.
Here I am in this marriage, and it don't work. He don't love me. He don't like me.
It's a great, great story, and it's so powerful, man. I love this film. It's the best work I've ever done, and as people see it, they are going to be blown away by it.
Like most of his stories, Tyler centers the plot around the redemptive power of Jesus Christ. His latest project attempts to go where few have gone before, a Christian-based sitcom.
Cassie Davis, she sits in praise and worship on the side before she goes up all the time. And she was in the middle of a scene, and she broke out in speaking in tongues, just broke out. And everybody's looking at me like, what do you want to do? I said, leave it, leave it. I got so many emails from people who were just shocked that that was on television in a sitcom. But hey, when you own it, you can do what you want to do. That's all right. That's all right.
So, what's next for Tyler?
To continue telling great stories, continue telling stories that will not only uplift and inspire, but have people come out of things. You know, my goal is to own a network where And this has really been in my spirit, where you turn on the television from early in the morning to late at night till it goes off. There's nothing but positive inspiration.
Yeah. No matter what Tyler puts his hands and his heart into, he believes.
If I keep sowing these good things, if I keep doing my best, if I keep trying to please God, that's the only harvest that can come to me. And I'm going to enjoy it right now. I want to enjoy it right now.
WACPtv, the place to be. All we are, creative people. Stay tuned for the best, and the rest of your life.
Magic Theater we just attended is now closed. That's right, closed. Stay tuned and find out how you can help bring back the magic while empowering the creative community of Atlanta.
So what we're trying to do now, we're trying to connect Tyler Perry Wood to Atlanta. By doing that, how would you want to do that? How would you go by doing that? Well, you know, the big demand on that man is everybody want to give him some work and he want to look at it. He's only one person. So what we propose to do is we're going to go into Magic Justice Theater, another black-owned situation, you know what I'm saying, it has history here in our community, rooted here in our community. And we're going to turn that into the preview facility, the booking facility. We're going to turn this whole place going to Tyler Perry. We're even going to get the street name after the man. To bring the community here to let them know that there is a way to go and get your art out your head, get your works done, get your work seen, and also make you a little bit of money with the situation, man. The doors are not closed, man. You just have to, if one door closes, you must make sure you must open up some more. This is like Macedonia, the king of the underground, Mr. A-Time, Mr. TV, Mr. Internet, Mr. Multimedia. That's me, and I'm working still to get another level of the game, man. And that level of the game is when we all be sitting at the table watching the work together. So I said, let's come together and look at it, man. Right here on the southwest Atlanta, man. There's a lot of history over here on Camelton Road, Greenbrier Mall. This is what they call the Black Mall. This is the West End Mall. Let's keep it that way, okay? Let's not let them regentrificate just like they did the other situations. Because if so, well, we gonna go. Tyler Perry Boulevard. Can we get that? Let's go.
The potential that we now have because of Tyler Perry is enormous.
Multimedia theatrical presentations and performances have profoundly impacted African American culture, social and economic struggles, from ragtime and the Harlem Renaissance, from hip-hop to blockbuster movies. While there are many examples of historical black theater icons, Apollo in Harlem, Fillmore in San Francisco, the mixture of a state-of-the-art screening and production multiplex has yet to debut in Black America. Stay tuned as we introduce to some and remind others of who in Atlanta has the best track record to spearhead such a facility and bring back the magic.
We now welcome to Larry King Live. Great pleasure to have him with us. Tyler Perry, actor, producer, director, writer. Other than that, what else? New movie is Medea Goes to Jail. His new TV show is House of Pain, spelled P-A-Y-N-E. Forbes magazine named him the #3 top-earning black star, grossing $125 million a year. He went from being homeless and living in his car. Now, how did that happen? How did you go from that to this?
Well, listen, that was a great introduction there for me to even think about it. I try not to think about it in those terms.
What were you doing living in a car?
Well, you know what? I had started doing my play back in 19. This is how I got into it. I was watching Playwright, yes. I was watching the Oprah show, and she said it was cathartic to write things down. So I started writing my first play in 1992. Performed that show from 92 to 1998, and had the rent payment, car payment, everything tied up into it, and rolled the dice one too many times, and ended up, out on the streets, sleeping in my car back in about 96, 97.
For how long?
It was only a 3-month period that I was actually out on the streets and sleeping in the car. And when I couldn't afford the pay-by-the-week hotel, I would go and sleep in the car. And it was character building, I think.
What got you out?
Just faith. I'm a man who's always had faith in God and always had faith in what I do. And I always believed that it would work. No matter what happened, it would one day come to pass. And in 1998, I had one last chance. This was going to be my last show So I did it at the House of Blues in Atlanta, and that show sold out. And from that show to, I came off the road about 2 years ago with the Medea Goes to Jail, the play. I was seeing about 30, 40,000 people a week. I was playing arenas by the time I came off the road with the play.
You write plays.
That's where I started, yes, writing
What
plays.
was a play doing in the House of Blues?
Yeah, right? Well, the thing about it is what happened, the House of Blues had was there for the Olympics in 1996, and there was this church that they had turned into the House of Blues, and I got an opportunity to rent the place because it had like 1,100 seats, and it was just the perfect size for what I was trying to do at that time.
What kind of plays you write?
They're called gospel musicals. They've been called urban theater, Chitlin Circuit theater, which is a Chitlin Circuit, yeah, which is a thing that I'm really, really proud of because, you know, at first I used to be really embarrassed by that term, but then I found out the history of it. When black people could not perform in establishments, you know, such as Marian Anderson and, you know, you name it, you go down the list, Della Reese, Billie Holiday, they would go on this circuit where black people would, there would be chitlins there and they would sing and perform, and that's how they supported their families and became famous. So long before anybody knew my name, I was doing really, really well on this circuit. And you know, that's why I'm able to do the movies and be in the position I'm in now.
Well, what are you first? Because you perform.
I do.
Right? You write.
Yeah.
You do a lot of things. What are you? Are you a playwright who does the other things?
I'm tired. That's what I am first. I'm tired. I'm tired first. No, I think every part of my brain has to work because I started doing plays and I had no money, so I did everything. And when you train yourself to do everything, you know, drive the car, load the set, turn the sound on, turn the lights on, pay the people, I didn't know how to let that go when I got into film and television, so I'm still doing everything. I don't know what to call myself.
What do you like about writing plays?
You know, these shows were my catharsis. You know, they were the thing that, because I had a lot of forgiveness to do in my life. And I had the crazy teenage years and 20s, and trying to get myself together and find out who I was, I would write after, you know, the Oprah advice on her show. And what I love about it is that I can take this work, I can do a silly character like Medea or Brown, which is another character, really silly, really broad, really ridiculous, and I can put these great messages inside of it so that when children see it or when families see it, they walk away with something they can use.
What were you angry at?
Oh, well, I grew up in a household where my father, and I really don't want to make him a villain here, but he was a person who was really, really abusive. And I was really upset about that until I found out who he was and why. He was found in a drainage canal at 2 years old in rural Louisiana with a white man, found him there and brought him to a 14-year-old to raise, the woman who became my grandmother. And her parents were a couple of generations out of slavery, so all they knew is to beat. If the child did something, beat that out of him, beat that out of him. So he brought that. I'm his first son, and that's what was, you know, done to me.
You were raised in New Orleans?
I was, in New Orleans, yeah. Great town.
Like growing up there?
You know what? There's no better backdrop in New Orleans for the stories I tell or for anything that I have been able to do, because you learn and you meet all kinds of people in all kinds of situations. So yeah, I really did like it.
They all, Tyler, Christian-based?
They are faith-based, yes. They are, because of my own faith and my own beliefs, I wanted to, when I have a character who has a problem, if I don't know how to solve it, that's what I go to. That's what I go to for myself, so that's what I go to in the scripts.
How do you handle making all the money? I mean, here you're a kid you're a guy living in a car not too long ago.
Yeah.
Making all this money. How do you handle that?
What do you mean, the money?
Yeah, I mean, how do you deal with poverty to the opposite of poverty?
Yeah, well, that's been my life. My life has always been, there's never been a middle. Either I had or I didn't. Either I was up or I was down. So the thing about it, what's great about it is being on the road for all of those years, for 10 years, gaining a little bit at a time prepared me to be in this situation. And I've got good people around me who tell me, you know, try this, do that, and do this. And, you know, I respect their opinions.
Do you fear it all coming down?
Do I fear coming down? No, I'm working too hard to come down. I'm going to keep working, and keep working. And I really believe you reap what you sow. So if you keep working, it's going to come to you.
The mixture of a state-of-the-art screening and production multiplex has yet to debut in Black America. Stay tuned as we introduce to some and remind others of who in Atlanta has the best track record to spearhead such a facility and bring back the magic.
I'm Chapman Smiley. You're watching WACPtv, the place to be. We are creative people.
Hey, you are not the WACP, the grassroots of the media. Stay tuned.
WACP started out as a seed from a very good friend of mine, Brother Hassan. Started a long time ago when I first came here to Atlanta back in 1980.
My name is Sherry Wombo, and I know about WACP. You're at all the events that we have. You're well informed. You tell us what's going on, and you cover important events such as this. I commend you for the work that you do, and
#1 historical information gathering, speak gathering organization probably in the country or in the world that I know of. It has a whole history of gathering information.
Everybody needs guidance, and everybody needs somebody, a parent, station, TV, to teach them how to love themselves. Because that's the hardest thing I'm facing right now. It's not beauty, you know what I mean? It's not intelligence, it's the love of myself. So as long as y'all can keep that up, spread this to the little kids, the longer we can survive. You know what I mean? That's the future. That's me.
My name is Sister Lucille Muhammad. I've been in Atlanta since 1977. Is that 30 years? And WACP, I knew it before it officially existed, because I've known Brother Hassan for a good 28 years. And he was then doing informal WACP in the community. Brother Hassan has worked in the community, been a part of our community for 30 years that I know of. And hardworking brother, and WACP is an extension of him. This brother has made sure for the past 30 years that the community and what we're doing in the community and the things that need to be done in the community are kept alive.
He is serious about getting performances, news.
Greetings from WACP. We are creative people.
Stay tuned. Take the best, and the rest of your life.
One more time, we are creative people.
We are creative.
I want to thank WACPtv for coming out and allowing me to share this information across the networks, across the world, and we thank you for listening and keep doing a great job. We appreciate WACP, or we appreciate love WACPtv for always keeping our community abreast of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Independent media.
Big up to WACPtv.
WACPtv. We are a creative people.
Thank you.
And I believe that everybody has a gift of connecting with spirit. Some people do it by yoga and meditation, cooking, making love. I do it through dance.
And with music for global peace, we put down our swords and we pick up our crowns.
The numbers that you see here tonight represent the seeds being planted in the soil, fertile soil.
Everybody at WACPtv, and I want y'all to be blessed. Have a good day.
Georgia International Convention Center, and we just want to give thanks for we are creative people being in the house. Give thanks.
Well, we have a mission, an opportunity, and we have an obligation. And we are children of the Creator.
So we're in the business of educating our people how to build economic, empowerment for themselves, and thereby, create generational wealth.
And that is the process of being creative people and creating a new media giant, a new super stage for our talents and our skills and our information to continue to flow, and that is internet television.
I'm giving a shout out to WACPtv, the place to be. We are creative people television.
Courage, Black and the Positive for
WACP.
WACP, the place to be, live on Wednesday on WACP.
I said, you don't know what's going on if you don't watch WACP.
WACP TV is the place to be on the AEC.
And you're tuned in to WACP.tv. We are creative people.
A press conference for WACP.
Started their own little rallies. You know, a lot of people, you know, get into getting the information and documents. So we're on the scene in Cape Town, South Africa. You are looking at WACP. WACP TV. Yeah, take the point. I think Reverend Markel Hutchins has done a great job.
It's infinite.
We're looking at a wave of the future. Internet television is very much alive.
Yes.
You promote this network, and we all grow and build together.
To remember that we are responsible for our lives. We continue to know that we are creative people. We are creative people.
WACP.tv, live on the front line.
All right.
Not hiding behind no studio walls.
Well, there you have it, Tyler Perry. You make movies, we build unity. Let's work together and help our community.
You have 5 studios here.
5 sound stages?
Five sound stages here. So, and you've named one after Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
And one after Cicely Tyson.
Mm-hmm. This was Cicely Tyson's stage. The sound stage is inside of the building. So that's the Ruby D. Ossie Davis there.
The Soul Food.
Yeah, Soul Food, Mama Soul Food. And then Cicely Tyson here, and then Sidney Poitier on the end. And Quincy Jones here where we had the party.
Is it weird? Is it like, I own that, I own that, I own that?
You know what I do sometimes? I just walk around, I'm just blown away by it.
So why do you think more people don't own it? Because it's clearly the path to great wealth and would redirect wealth back into the black community.
Well, you know what it's about? It's about the responsibility of it, because when you own it, you can't just do the scene and go home.
All right, guys, let's make this believable.
You know, you have to be there for every bit of it. You have to be there when the first person gets there, and you have to be there when the last person leaves. So it's a lot more responsibility to own it all. So that's one. And the other part of it is, if we hadn't been taught and or showed that it could be done, then nobody really believes it. And cut.
And we cut.
Let's go again.
So what do you think made you go the step further? Because I think a lot of people do stop at the no. You know, no, it doesn't work that way in Hollywood. Well, there's a long line of people who've said, okay.
Yeah, but I've always been that child, though. Even as a kid, they said you can't. Well, I was about to say my mother, but I'm not going to say it. But she,
some lady,
said you can't do that. I said, why? Because you're poor, or because you're black. And when I asked why, there'd be no answer. Just because that's the way it is. So this came from childhood. Asking those questions. Yeah. In order to empower us, and in order to empower our children and in generations, that's the only way. If you look at the history of everyone who's owned and look at their families now, how well the families are still doing generations down the line, it's all about ownership.
Great. Thank you for all your time. Really appreciate that. Pleasure. So I'm not going to get makeup on you, on your nice shirt.
Yeah.
Complex subject, because each artist should be allowed to pursue the artistic endeavor. But I still think a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery buffoonery. And I know it's making a lot of money, breaking records, but we could do better. That's just my opinion. I mean, I'm a huge basketball fan, and when I watch the games on TNT, I see these 2 ads for these 2 shows, I'm scratching my head. You know, we got a black president. You know, are we going back to Mantan Moreland and sleep and eat.
Yet, if those films, and I mean, we're talking about Tyler Perry at this point. No, I mean, look, I'm not saying we're talking. Let's not give them fodder for tabloid. I'm not saying we're talking about Tyler Perry, but those are the shows that we're talking about. If we're talking about that, and we look at the numbers that come and see his movies, that view the shows on TBS, my question is that in fact maybe what Black America wants to see?
A large part.
Look, I hear a lot of no's and ahs, but a lot of people watching it.
Here's the thing, though, because we've had this discussion back and forth, because when John Singleton, people came out to see Boys in the Hood, needed a Rosewood, nobody showed up. So a lot of this is on us. A lot of this is on us. You vote with your pocketbook, your wallet, you vote with your time, sitting in front of the idiot box. And the man has a huge audience, and Tyler's very smart. What he's done. He started out, with these plays, and church buses would pull up, packed, and he's parlayed it into bought his own jet. You can buy a jet, you got money. But at the same time, for me, just imagery is troubling.
Is there a disappointment from you as a director and an African American that Miracle at St. Anna won't get the same audience as some of the other movies that you will make? And therefore, the idea of what we support?
Well, here's the thing. DVD is a director's best friend. So a lot of people have come up to me and said they like the film a lot, but for whatever reason, they didn't get to see it in the theater, but they definitely got the bootleg or watched on television, pay-per-view. And even if nobody showed up, I wanted to make that film because Hollywood historically has omitted the contribution of 1.1 African-American men and women who fought and died for this country in World War II. And I just got tired of seeing these films again and again and again, which does not give any love to us. The first person to die for this country was a black man, Crispus Attucks. We're not talking, we're more patriotic than anybody.
I will punch the hell out of you. Say something else.
That is my answer to Spike Lee. Go to hell.
I will punch the hell out of you. Say something else.
Let me just say this about Spike, anybody else, all the critics, anybody else. It's only black people that do this to each other. I have never seen Jewish people complaining about Seinfeld. I've never seen Italian people complaining about The Sopranos. It's only us as Negroes that do this to each other. And I can't fix it. Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois did it. Langston Hughes said that Zora Neale Hurston was a new version of the darky. This woman wrote Their Eyes Were Watching God. She spoke from a Southern point of view. Here Langston is in New York with his Harlem slickness, and he couldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. I speak from the South. People love it. Why in the hell would I sit here worried about Spike Lee? I saw a story on the news about right after Christmas, a woman, 88-year-old woman who had her 7 grandkids and had lost their house, and I volunteered to build a house, rebuild her house for her. She wanted it on her lot, so that's what we did. I just gave her the keys, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's pretty great.
Ooh, I just love it. Love it. It is beautiful. I just love it.
So I was just thinking about my mother around Christmas time and what I could do for her, because she passed in 2009. So for me to be able to do this for somebody else really made me feel good, and I'm hoping that when people see it, they will pay it forward. There's a lot of people are going through, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of things, and we all have a responsibility to help each other. So here's an 88-year-old woman raising 7 great grandkids. I mean, that is like insane, but it makes me feel great to be able to do it. You know, there are a lot of people, millions and millions of people who've invested in me, and I feel like I have a responsibility to pass it on, to pay it forward. And I know that when people see this, they'll be inspired, so that makes me feel really good.
Any message you told the young grandchildren? No.
I told them to sit down, all that noise. No, you know, a lot of it is, I think the message and the lesson is in what just happened, you know, that there are people in this world who will help you out if you try to help yourself, you know. So here's this woman who had lived her whole life, and the only concern she had when the house burned down were the kids. She didn't want them separated all over the place. So it's really awesome to be able to see her have them all together. I mean, on the news, that was her only concern. Where are my kids going to go? So now they're all here together, so that's great.
God himself has to give the increase. Only God can make the sunshine. Only God can bring the rain. But if you've planted the seed, then you've done your part. I wish you so much success in 2012. Anything you want is possible. God knows I'm a living witness. Please feel me. Please hear this from my heart. Anything you want is possible. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't take the time to send this message to you. Take care of yourself.
You gotta give it to him now. Come on now. Not tomorrow and the day after, right now.
Now is the time, and I think you're absolutely right.
Do right and not get greedy, you know, and go after big time.
Okay.
You know, because if God's help, we'll get there eventually. We don't have to walk over people, especially our family members, to get what we want.
All right then.
Oh, I agree. It was, I just enjoyed it. Didn't have all that sex. It didn't have all that profanity. It's a real life. It shows Lord is good all the time.
All right. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, it was great just as soon as it come out of mine.
I loved it. It was so wonderful. Seems like every time you turn around, Tyler Perry's doing a great movie.
I love him. I'm going to see Tyler Perry picture today. I've seen them all.
All right.
Wouldn't miss it for nothing.
All right then. Thank you much.
Let us have a day when we can come over and see your studio, Tyler. I like that. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right then.
I will punch the hell out of you. Say something else.